Title Extreme Wrestling, I'm Brendan Plays. This is our All Elite Wrestling Say, week 4 of August, which means only 10 days away from the All Out pay-per-view. Things are starting to heat up here in AEW. Adam Page, Christian Cage, one of our headline matches. We've got the Casino Battle Royal, Casino Ladder match as well. Cody and MJF for the world title. Malachi Black and Chris Jericho will go one-on-one. Kenny Omega will take on the returning CM Punk. Young Bucks and the Wild Things, and much more where that came from as well. Looking forward to All Out. Still a couple more shows to get through before we get there. Now, speaking of All Out, obviously CM Punk's going to be making his big debut on All Out, but his actual first debut of Dynamite or Rampage, his first television appearance, his first time in AEW, will take place this episode. So CM Punk is coming in, and he's going to work Kenny Omega in his first match back. And obviously Kenny Omega's been hyping it up for the last few weeks, saying how he's the best in the world, no one's better than him. Well, CM Punk's going to come back in, and he's going to face Kenny to start with. Now, Kenny's not the world champion in our saves, so it makes sense for him to work Kenny. Kenny's, available. He's not really doing a lot at the moment. He's not in the mix for the championship. He hasn't got an opponent for All Out before this, so he's free, he's available, and this is a good first match for CM Punk to come back and really have a classic match to show the fans that he's back, and he's back 100%. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. So he's going to make his Dynamite debut coming up next, so looking forward to that. Now, as well as that, speaking of debuts, as well as CM Punk, we have signed, the former Iconics. I think they're now known as the Inspiration. So Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay is what I believe they're going as. If it's changed, then we'll fix it up. But that's what we've got at the moment. So they're going to come in with about 38 popularity. They're going to join our women's division and hopefully elevate this women's tag team division we got going on. So we now have 4 legitimate women's tag teams, which I think is great. I think we probably need 2 more if we ever thought about doing a women's tag title, which I don't think is on the cards anyways. But what we're doing with the women's tag division is a way to try and elevate some of the women and kind of get them involved on TV a little bit more, a little bit of a different dynamic as well, rather than just all the singles matches. So the Bunny and Mel, they're a bit of a makeshift team thrown together. Mel's not very good. I know probably a better option would have been the Bunny and Penelope Ford, like we've seen on TV a little bit on Dynamite. I think that would have been a good one, but Penelope's a babyface, that's why we never went with that one. Mel's not great, so long term, that's probably not going to be one of the teams we're going to go with. Brandy and Red Velvet, that's going to be one of our permanent teams, I think. So, we'll put that as a permanent unit. Tay J is the other one. Like this team, I think that's a good combination. It's a good spot for both women to be in as well. And now we add in the Inspiration, who's got 81 experience. So that's a real key here. They've got a lot of experience. They should have good chemistry, I believe. So I think that will add a huge factor into our women's division, really help out. And obviously, we can use both of them in a singles capacity as well. So, Cassie Lee, high 60s mic skills, which is pretty good. Her in-ring stats aren't so flash. Probably pretty average, but, basic 73, selling 59 is a little low. Psychology 55, that's pretty low. But decent technical, okay flashes. So there is something, there's some okay stats there. In terms of her performances, so she had a match here. It was a 54 rated match. She had a 47, and Billie Kay, Jessie McKay now had a 44. So they have 38 popularity, so that's fairly above their popularity. So that's some decent signs that they might be able to perform okay. I'll take mid 40s, and as a team, maybe we can see that go up again depending on our product settings. So I don't mind that. And Jessie McKay, her mic skills are high 60s as well. Star quality 50. Her basics 73, selling 65, psychology 50. Technical skills a little bit better. I actually think she's probably a touch better in the ring here on the stats compared to Cassie Lee. So That's a little bit surprising. I would have said it the other way around. But so Jessie McKay, a little bit more there to her. So yeah, they're going to come in as heels, and that will help beef up our women's division on the heel sides of things, because that's obviously been where we've been lacking. So we've turned Serena Deeb as a heel. We've brought in Jamie Hayter, and now the Inspiration. So if you compare the heels and faces, it's getting a lot more even. And when you really think about, okay, you know, who's going to be a factor in the women's division, it is pretty even now. So there we go. We take away some of the managers and things like that, and it's pretty close. So I'm happy with that. We've got a pretty, I wouldn't say deep, but we've got a lot of women on the roster. So we've got enough women, I think, now to kind of have some interesting things happening. And now, obviously, the second layer of the division with the tag teams, 4 tag teams. If we can sometime, you know, down the line add 2 more teams, maybe we could think about a women's tag team championship. So that's what's going on there with the women. I'm looking forward to that. Now, other news, WWE did offer a contract to Rob Van Dam. So RVD did retire last episode. Now they've offered him a contract, and I'm going to say most likely to be a road agent, or potentially a manager, but it's not an in-ring contract, so he won't wrestle. So pretty interesting. As soon as he retires, yep, on the phone, let's bring him in. So pretty funny. Stu Grayson, his contract was up. We did decide to renew it as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into Dynamite, where we're going to debut CM Punk. Alrighty, Dynamite, let's jump into it. On the pre-show, we've got the Wingman taking on Cutler and Hobbs. So it'll be Nemeth and Avalon taking on Cutler and Hobbs. And a 38 rated match. Peter Avalon 40, Will Hobbs 40, Nemeth and Cutler 28. I threw Will Hobbs in here as a low-level mid-card babyface that would help Cutler get a win. So Cutler's been getting pretty much embarrassed week after week by the Wingman. So I gave Cutler a win here. It is the pre-show. I wanted to give Will Hobbs a win as well to keep his momentum building. So that's why we've done that. Brandon Cutler won't turn just yet. Let's move on. Men of the Year took on TNT for 45. Ethan Page 52. Wow. Scorpio Sky 49. The Dudleys around 24-25. So TNT obviously still they're a non-factor. They're just there to pretty much lose and keep developing. Men of the Year, trying to give them a win, keep building their experience, and hopefully keep building their popularity. And that's a solid outing that they had, 45. Last match in the pre-show, Ricky Starks defeated Fuego del Sol for 44. Starks 52, Fuego 20. Pretty good from Starks. Just want to again give him a win to keep his momentum building. Alright, on the main show, Cody and MJF meet in the ring to hash it out about their past issues and their upcoming match. So they wanted to get an opportunity to get in there and talk about all the issues that they had in the past, what went down, you know, now talking about their upcoming match as well. 98 for this one, really, really good. Wardlow there for MJF as backup. Cody happy to go out on his own. I was going to do an attack angle, but we might save that for next week or potentially Rampage, where MJF gets the upper hand on Cody heading into the pay-per-view. So Cody's got a gimmick that's getting stale, but because he's got creative control, we can't actually edit his gimmick at all, so we can't do anything about it. So that's the difficult thing about it. So he's going to have to stay with a stale gimmick. Same thing with the Young Bucks. We can't edit their gimmick either, so they just have to have a gimmick that's stale. Kenny Omega says tonight he'll have a ceremony crowning himself as the best in the world. 84 rated. So yeah, Kenny tonight, he's going to have a segment where basically Don Callis is going to give him the crown that he's the greatest, the best in the world. I think you know what's going to happen next. Malachi Black took on Santana in a 74 rated match. We had this as a wild brawl, and it certainly elevated the match nicely. Malachi 72, Santana 64. Good match, definitely good match to keep advancing the Inner Circle storyline. Obviously, Malachi Black was able to beat down Ortiz and Santana. So Santana put his hand up to try and fight Black tonight, unable to get the job done. Post-match though, the Inner Circle used the numbers game to get the advantage over Malachi Black. So Malachi gets beaten down here. So reason being, we wanted to obviously play off that the Inner Circle has the numbers. They've got the advantage. You know, Malachi Black so far has been able to beat down and almost embarrass the Inner Circle a little bit. He's been able to get the upper hand every time. So to even things up a little bit, we give the Inner Circle the chance here. 78 rated. The interesting thing in this segment, Sammy Guevara doesn't come out to help fight Malachi Black here. So 78 for that one. We had Mark Henry, Will Hobbs, Lance Archer, and Jake Roberts, with Jake Roberts warning Mark Henry about how dominant and how good Lance Archer is right now. Mark Henry says that Will Hobbs is ready to go. He's ready to fight. He's going to try his best. 65 rated, so we're trying to put over Will Hobbs here and also show off how good Lance Archer is as well. 65, pretty good. Britt Baker had a 39 rated match with Red Velvet. Britt Baker 42, Red Velvet 23, and Baker picks up the win. So just continuing on the storyline between Brandy and Britt by having Britt take down Brandy's tag partner. Post-match, Brandy stops an attack by Baker. Brandy and Baker end up brawling. So Britt Baker went for the big blindside, went for the beatdown. Brandy quickly shut it down, and a brawl broke out. 38. The Young Bucks trash-talked the Wild Things in an 82 rated segment. Good promo there from the Young Bucks. Ray Phoenix took on Miro one-on-one for 74, so these two men both are part of the ladder match coming up. Miro 75 and Ray Phoenix 72. Good match here, really good stuff. Both guys doing really, really well. Miro probably outperforming himself as of late. That's probably his best performance we've seen. Ray Phoenix as good as always. Great match, and I think we had Park ringside as well. And in the end, Jungle Boy helped Miro pick up the win by distracting Ray Phoenix. So Jungle Boy's been having some issues with the Death Triangle. Well, this is one way that Jungle Boy gets a chance to hit back out at Death Triangle and send a message to Park. 74 for the match, really good stuff. The women of AEW talk about the Casino Battle Royal. So we got probably the favorites to win it. We got Jade, we got Nyla, we got Chris Statlander, and we got Thunder Rosa. Probably the top 4 women, maybe Sheeta, I suppose, as well. Out here talking about the upcoming match. 46 rated, so gaining some storyline heat. I knew this would be a good one because these women are decent talkers, so I thought this would be a good segment to try and do to elevate that storyline, and it did. We had Tony Schiavone hosting a confrontation between Anthony Ogogo, QT Marshall, and Dustin Rhodes. So 39 rated for this one. I thought there's a chance that we could have a decent in-ring segment here with Tony's to host it, Dustin Rhodes on the mic, and also to get Anthony Ogogo on TV. He needs a bit more TV time to try and get him going, get his popularity moving. So that was the plan here. Probably didn't work out as well as maybe I thought, but 39 is okay, and just a quick little confrontation nonetheless. It's not going to take up too much TV time. Main event was Christian Cage and Matt Hardy one-on-one. So 2 veterans going at it. Christian Cage picked up the win over Matt. I didn't really want to use Matt Hardy in this spot here. We haven't used the Hardys since they lost their tag team championship match. But I didn't really have another babyface for Christian to work with that I was happy to take a loss. So Matt Hardy fit the role here, putting over Christian Cage. In the end, a good match though. 74 rated. Adam Page on commentary watching on. Didn't do that well on commentary, but that's okay. But a 74 match is pretty solid here. Post-match, Christian Cage called out Adam Page to the ring. He wanted a fight, and they did. 85 rated, so Christian not going to back down from Page, and Page certainly not going to say no to a fight. So the angles between these two are red hot. So I really feel like this match is going to be really, really good. It's going really well. Now that match, 74, is going to bring the storyline heat down a fair bit, but I think we'll bring it back up a little bit with this angle here. Now the last segment of the show. This is the big one. CM Punk making his debut. Let's hope, fingers crossed, that it goes down well. Let's take a look. 100 rated. There we go. That's what we wanted. Kenny Omega tries to crown himself as the best in the world. CM Punk makes his debut and challenges him to a match at All Out. So Kenny Omega's got a crown. Don Callis is going to give him the crown. Going to put it before he can put it on his head. CM Punk's music hits. The crowd goes ballistic, and Kenny Omega gets the shock of a lifetime, and CM Punk basically says, look, if you think you're the best in the world, well, let's prove it. Because I used to be the best in the world, and I still think I am, and at All Out, we're going to find out. CM Punk has debuted his best in the world gimmick, and has been given a rating of great. Thank goodness for that. Thank God. 100 rated here. CM Punk benefited from a groundswell of public support. Kenny had a hot catchphrase to help put him over as well. Great segment all around, just thumbs up everywhere. 100 rated, excellent stuff. I'm really, really pleased that CM Punk's gimmick has been given a rating of great. I'm very happy. and he should sell some more merchandise with that gimmick as well, which is great to see. So, Chicago's big episode of Dynamite. Wow, 85 rated. Holy crap. I think putting the big debut as the last segment of the show was a good idea. I think close out the show on a high. I think it worked. I think it did. We had 3 really good matches on the card. Malachi and Santana, 74. Miro and Rey Fenix, 74. Christian and Matt Hardy, 74. So 3 74 rated matches, plus a lot of good promos and segments. Yeah, 85. That's huge. That is huge. That is exactly what we were looking for heading into All Out and the debut episode of CM Punk. So what was our best ever edition of any show we've done in the series? Let's have a look at the TV rating. And it was over 1 million viewers. I think that's going to be the first time I've hit 1 million viewers on Dynamite. 912,000 viewers on TNT, so I suppose not quite 1 million just on TNT. 1.21 rating. Nearly 7,000 attendance. I mean, that's just a huge show. That's awesome, and I'm really, really pleased with that. NXT 74 rated. Forget about it. Who cares? They did nothing that's worth talking about. That's huge. CM Punk makes his debut. Now let's have a quick little look. There's a chance that he could have gained popularity out of that one. It was so big, and he didn't quite do that. I mean, Kenny Omega, I reckon, he'd have to do something with his popularity. Yeah, low 80s, so he's gained a couple of points out of that big segment, definitely. He started the month at high 70s. He's now into the 80s, so he's having a big month ever since we've started doing this Best in the World storyline. It has worked a treat for Kenny. All right, we move on to this week's AEW Dark. And on the first match of the show, no pre-show stuff this week, we have 2.0, the Private Party, Men of the Year, and the Hybrid 2 in a 4-way tag team match to kick things off here. So we are holding this in Chicago as well. So best in the match was Isaiah Cassidy, and we gave the Men of the Year the victory here. And they performed pretty well, 49 and 46. And Helico and Jack Evans, 46 and 47, pretty good. 2.0 the worst in the match in this one. 51 rated match though, pretty solid. Frankie Kazarian cuts a promo and he talks about his upcoming future with AEW now that SCU is finished. What's next for Frankie? I don't know what's next, so we'll try and figure it out as the weeks go on, but probably not a lot. But I wanted to give him some airtime here to, do a promo and kind of, maybe build him up a little bit as a singles. Anthony Ogogo defeated Michael Nakazawa, a 12 rated match. I knew this match was going to suck, but I wanted to get Anthony Ogogo on TV, albeit dark, and a victory. And I just wanted someone to lose to him, didn't care who it was, so we had Nakazawa do it. But I just wanted him to be out there and showcased in some sort of capacity. Not a great match, and I knew that was going to be the case, but that's fine. Dustin Rhodes and Anthony Ogogo, they went to a brawl after they tried to go for the brawl after the match. Dustin stormed the ring and is coming for Ogogo, but Ogogo slides out of the ring. He doesn't want to fight for free. So Ogogo says, you know what, look, QT pulls him out of the ring. Don't worry about it. Wait for the pay-per-view. You don't want to do this for free. Don't waste your time. Let's wait. Nyla Rose defeats Tay Conti in a 35 rated match. Nyla 41, Tay Conti 21. So not too bad from Nyla. Tay Conti a little bit low. I mean, she was off her game, really off her game. So yeah, not the best match in the world, but good for Nyla to get a win here and keep building her up. Team Taz cut a promo on the ladder match. So Cage, Ricky Starks, and Taz. So both Ricky and Cage will be in the match. So you'd have to think that they'll probably work together in the match. 65 for the promo. Wardlow cuts a promo and he says he's ready to show the world what he can do. So this week we're going to spend a little bit of time showcasing Wardlow as a singles wrestler. See what we've got with him. Do we need to go in a tag team way, or is he worth maybe looking at as a singles? Let's take a look. Alright, so he took on Stu Grayson, 53 rated match. Wardlow 61, Grayson 39. I think Wardlow's got around 61, maybe 62 popularity in this area, so it looks like he's just performing at his popularity, which is okay. Considering he has 60 pop, that's pretty good, but yeah, maybe the tag team route needs to be the way to go. I'm not sure who to team him up with. I guess Sean Spears would work, both being in the Pinnacle. but maybe that's the way that we need to kind of think about it. But good to see him in the ring, getting a win. We haven't done a lot with him as an in-ring performer, so it's important that we try and push him a little bit more in that way. 50 rated for the show. All right, into Rampage, and CM Punk opens up Rampage. He cuts a promo on why he's returned to wrestling and his upcoming match with Kenny Omega. 100 rated. Look, I mentioned it before, Punk has the ability just to get 100s every angle, every segment, and I'm going to take full advantage of it. Another fantastic angle here. And obviously, this storyline is going to have massive, massive heat coming into it. It's going to be, I really believe it'll be the match of the year for us. Jungle Boy took on Penta El-Zero-M in a 67 rated match. Jungle Boy picks up the win. 16-minute match. Jungle Boy 62, Penta 58. Nice match between these two. We try to make this a Steelers show, really go all out with this one. Penta struggled to kind of hang in there for the full match. Jungle Boy not so much. But we gave Jungle Boy the win. These two have very similar popularity levels, so it won't really affect either guy to take a win or a loss here. And we're trying to put over Jungle Boy huge. I'm kind of contemplating through my mind right now, should I give Jungle Boy the TNT Championship? I'm actually thinking about giving him the belt. You know, Park's had a pretty good reign so far and still doing really well. But I'm contemplating, but I think Jungle Boy is more valuable in the tag division than he is as a singles at the moment. Maybe I could be wrong there, but that's kind of my general feeling at the moment. But nonetheless, a win here over Penta to really build him up and ahead of this upcoming match with Park. Chris Jericho promises to get revenge for the Inner Circle against Malachi Black. So Chris Jericho with an 87 rated promo and kicks this storyline up a gear as well. Very good stuff. We had a fatal four-way with Hikaru Shida, Serena Deeb, The Bunny, and Diamante. 4 women involved in the Casino Battle Royale. 46 rated. I mean, that's honestly really good. Shida 50, Serena Deeb, showing me why giving her a bit of a push is a good idea. 37, considering she's got 27 popularity I think she had in this area. And that's a nice performance. The Bunny 33, Diamante 32. So a good quality match here. I wanted to try and spotlight the women a little bit to try and boost up their popularity potentially, and I feel like we may have a chance of getting that done. Shida once again proving why she's excellent. 50 rated performance, carrying the match, picking up the win ahead of the Battle Royal. Main events. Alright, so we went for a big one here. Jon Moxley, Matt Jackson, one-on-one, 81 rated. So in the match, Nick Jackson accidentally got himself involved and kind of screwed over the match a little bit for the Young Bucks. Matt Jackson, 82. Moxley, wow, 86. I'm a little surprised by that. So, yeah, big match. We did lack a bit of psychology in this one, so that could have helped it get a little bit better out of it. And that was always a bit of an issue potentially with these two guys. Maybe we should have scripted the match. That might have been able to help us a little bit there with that. But nonetheless, really good stuff there. Like that one. We gave Moxley the win. I think more than likely we're going to have the Young Bucks retain the belts, so Moxley gets a win, give his team a bit of momentum heading into the pay-per-view, and also to really boost up the storyline. 81 rated match is really, really good, and a good main event for Rampage, because we've got a bit of momentum right now. We've got to keep going with it. We had our best ever Dynamite. We need to keep going with some solid shows. Overall, 72 rated. I mean, obviously we had the women's match there, but long term, that's a good thing to have it in that spot. We need to keep developing them. We can't just keep putting them on the pre-show, so we have to start using them more, and I'm happy with that. It was a good match. It did bring the overall quality of the show down, but you live with that in the end to try and boost up, your overall division. All right, to round up the episode, let's take a look at our ratings results. So, quick look at SmackDown. They had a 74 rated show, 5,500 in attendance. Rampage for us, 72 rated, 6,500 in attendance for our show, with a 728,000 viewership on TNT, 1 million viewers, just over a million in total. Good stuff in the end. A couple of things to look at. We've gained a user talent point as we've couple things to look at here. We've gained a user talent point, which we can use to, improve our skills potentially. We've gained it because we've done 50 successful shows. Obviously, we're booking a lot more shows now, so technically we'll gain points a little bit quicker. Braun Strowman's injured. He only just started wrestling again. He's already injured. His first match competing for New Japan America, and he's out injured. A stomach infection. That shouldn't be out too long. John Cohn, the referee from WWE, his contract is up. Same with Bryce Remsburg. We will re-sign Bryce. He has 81 refereeing skill, which is pretty good. Pretty good. So we'll lock him in, and we'll give him 180 per show. 3-year deal. Wow, he wants a lot more money than that. Hold. 2-year deal. Just 2 years, Bryce. You're not worth any more than that. So he is looking for a big contract. Stu Grayson, he's going to re-sign with us as well, which is always good news to lock him in. But yeah, so here we are. We're currently a week away now from All Out. It's going to be big. You know, our storyline's looking pretty good. We didn't do anything too much with Cage and Page this week on Rampage, but overall, their storyline heat is still really, really strong. We need to try and kick it up a gear a little bit with Cody and MJF. While the storyline heat's really good, I think we need to do some sort of big angle to close out this feud heading into the pay-per-view. Malachi Black and Jericho, that's going really well. Obviously, a big promo from Jericho this week on Rampage to boost it up, so that should be good. The Best in the World storyline is going amazing. 93 heat at the moment for Kenny and CM Punk. I tell you, that match could blow the roof off. I think that's going to be awesome. It nearly has to main event. I mean, Cody and MJF is going to be good, I reckon. Like, I think could be 85 plus. But this Kenny and Punk match, it could be 95. It really could. I'm expecting 90 plus minimum. How much more than that, I don't know. But it could be huge. So I'm looking forward to that one. The Wild Things and the Bucks got a big boost this week as well. So they're into the 80 heat range as well. So that's fantastic. And we can keep it there. That should go on to be a really, really good match as well. So we've got a pretty good card here. I think All Out's going to be really solid. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all comes together. But one more week worth of shows to get through before All Out, and a little bit more of a chance to try and boost things up before we get there. So let's go ahead and advance to the next month and see if anything new happens. Alright, it is a new month, and to start the new month, Billy Gunn has been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, so big news for Billy. And surprising that they inducted him even though he's not a part of the company and he's with AEW and they're in a bit of a war with them, but so be it. Obviously, having a look at our growth for the month, we gained a point in the Southeast, we gained a point in most of the other areas as well. So heading into September, things are looking certainly up for us. Quickly look at our finance as well. So we did gain about $450,000. So pretty happy with that. I think that's a really nice gain. Keep doing something around that for the next next year or so. We're certainly going to get back to where we were with our finance. So Tony Khan can't be too disappointed with that. Obviously, our wages have gone up and will probably continue to go up, but our ticket sales are getting good and getting strong. We didn't have a pay-per-view, and when we do have our next pay-per-view, we should get a big revenue. So September should have a big money gain for us. Merchandise, Cody Rhodes, number one, $103,000 worth of merch. Wow, so he's getting over and gaining a lot of merch money, which is great. CM Punk, who I believe didn't count any of his merch sales until he debuted, has nearly already overtaken Chris Jericho. He's got 59,000, so he's not far away from he'll definitely be number one in the next month. I think he had a couple of weeks of merch sales, and if that, and he's already halfway to being number one. So that goes to show how over he is and how much merch he will move. It's going to be a lot. It will be a big, big number. All right, ladies and gentlemen, All Out's 5 days away in game time. So just a Dynamite and a Rampage. Then we get to All Out. CM Punk's in-ring debut for us. Can't wait for it. Thank you so much for watching this edition of Total Extreme Wrestling. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.